Does this not look like the top of a massive building or what? This thing looks like it could be so much bigger underground than we can see. This is the Frederick's Church, or otherwise known as the Marble Church. And why would this thing be called the Marble Church? Well, because pretty much the entire thing is made of pure marble, including the exterior facade and much of the interior. Located in Copenhagen, Denmark, the foundation stone was set by King Frederick V on October 31st, 1749. He didn't build it, and they didn't give us a construction company or tell us how many horses brought the materials from the mysterious land. And of course, our architect is dead again 5 years after we get the project started. And I'll get back to this guy later in this episode. So who can step in and finish this marble project in the 1700s? Could anyone? Well, of course they'll find somebody, because everybody was born with this in their DNA in the 17 and 1800s. But they went home to suffer in their log cabins in the winters for some reason. But we were never supposed to question that. So the project was taken over by Andreas Frederick Krieger, who looks a lot like William Strickland and the Austin Powers guy from episode 40. Just add some glasses. He can Uber his way over to America with Christopher Columbus on the Santa Marina. Side note that these are not real pictures. They are paintings, in my opinion, created by the AI. Are we all ready to find some incredible stuff today and see what is on the front of this building? Let's do it. Welcome to episode 43 of my lunch break. I hope you're all having a great day. And if you're new. Now, can we zoom in on this map? Can we all see what is located right next to this marble palace? An incredible star fort. This entire area is very interesting. Very clearly a city where the past civilization was thriving. And so many things look burned. It's very strange. All right, now let's go check out this area on Google Earth. I want to show you all the surrounding area and how cool this star fort really looks. And these buildings that are, in my opinion, connected to the Frederick's Church. I'm sure that all of this stuff is connected through tunnels. We have shown this in episode 42. Now, let's go check out the Frederick's Church and let's see what we have here, right on the front of their church, showing us that this was linked to everything that we have talked about. Linked to Grand Tartaria. The griffin was their symbol. It was right on their flag. And then Russia's flag shows the man on the horse trampling and stabbing the griffin, as if to say that they have taken over the Tartarian Empire. And this current civilization stole all of their buildings and is claiming them as their own to us. And these buildings were the past civilization's work. We have found the griffin symbol on buildings all over the world. This technology was worldwide. This structure is massive and looks like it could be 4 times the size underground. This is incredible. I'm gonna do my best to absolutely blow your mind right now. Here we go. So this structure is made of pure marble in the 1700s. And we all know about the construction process and how they need horses and wagons to pull this marble from somewhere to get it to the site. The marble is not just sitting there on the site, ready for them to put it into place. They have to actually get it there. And this is something that we have talked about a lot. And it's worth noting again, because I asked the AI ChatGPT how many pounds of marble was used in this project to build the Frederick's Church in the 1700s. A time period where people wrote letters with feathers. A time period before cars, and planes and trains and light bulbs and the rest. And the answer was shocking and completely destroys any possibility that this narrative could be true. The size of the church, the Marble Church, is a sizable structure with a large dome, and its exterior and interior are extensively clad in marble. It's likely that many thousands of tons of marble were used in its construction, and that's not even close to it. Wait for it. Marble has an approximate density of around 2.7 grams per cubic centimeter, or 2,700 kilograms per cubic meter. This means that 1 cubic meter of marble weighs approximately 2.7 metric tons. With these considerations, the amount of marble used in pounds could be in the range of several millions of pounds. Are you kidding me? Do you know how long it would take to move several millions of pounds of marble in the 1700s? Who was responsible for this? Why is this not even close to mentioned? So in order to fully understand this, we need to know where this marble is coming from. If it's like 20 feet away, then I'll be quiet. But it better be 20 feet away. Here we go. The marble used in the construction of the marble church in Copenhagen, Denmark, primarily came from quarries located in various parts of Europe. The specific quarries that provided the marble for the church varied, but marble was sourced from different regions to meet the project's needs. Carrara, Italy, Drammen, Norway, and other places such as Greece, Spain, and Portugal. So let's see what this looks like on a map from Drammen to Frederick's Church. 132 hours of walking? Right, okay. So we all understand that horses need water, right? In fact, we have proved this, that 30 horses would need approximately 300 gallons of water per day in episode 42. So this is absolutely insane. So let's check the other locations. And hopefully these are closer for the horses' sake. Now, how far is Carrara, Italy from Copenhagen, Denmark? Oh, okay. Only a 346-hour walk. They did not transport millions of pounds of anything from Carrara, Italy to Copenhagen. Before we go any further, did any of us miss it? This was so easy for them that they could be picky with which color marble they desired. Greece is not happening either. That is 535 hours away in the 1700s. Pretty much the same thing with Spain. And our last hope is Portugal. Ah, dang, even further. Only 25 days, non-stop walk. So all of this being said, let's just use common sense here. This story is ridiculous. It doesn't make any logical sense. You can't ride a horse for a month straight to bring a little bit of marble to the site. How much marble could one horse even bring if it did finally get there? What makes more sense? A month-long marble trip over and over and over for decades with millions of gallons of water tagging along the side of the wagon? Or a previous civilization had this construction process down. They were more advanced than we are. And this horse and wagon nonsense is a complete and total lie. Based on these logistics that are based on factual evidence, you can decide. You no longer need to listen to the crazy narrative about horses and wagons carrying marble from Spain to Copenhagen. There's a much more logical alternative now that uses common sense and actually asks regular questions that need to be answered. Like, how many pounds of marble was used? Where did it come from? How many horses? How many men? Once the millions of pounds of marble is at the site, then what? Who was trained to put the pieces together in the 1700s? Did they have separate horses to carry the thousands of pounds of water that the horses would need all along the trail? It's incredible stuff. We are told that Frederick's Church has the largest dome in Scandinavia with a span of 31 meters. And the inspiration was probably St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. It might be, but who knows? What a joke. So I have suggested in the past that AI has created 99% of these so-called mainstream narratives with reoccurring characters with the same themes and the same verbiage. Birthdays and dates of construction, exactly the same. And here we go again, with another example that in my opinion proves this. We are told that in 1740 the church was designed in the district of Copenhagen, named Frederick Staden. Then they name the church Frederick's Church and say that the king laid the first stone. Well, what do you know? His name is also Frederick, and the original plans for the church were abandoned by Johann Frederick. What? Then in 1874, Andreas Frederick sold the ruins. Are they joking at this point? And to top it off, Andreas sold it to Carl Frederick. My mind is blown. I don't know about you guys. Like, are you kidding me? This is shocking. Honestly, what more needs to be said? I know we have done it before, but I think we just proved that it's all complete nonsense right there. Are you guys a little bit taken back by that one? I was pretty surprised how many times I needed to screenshot that exact same name. This is crazy. How have we accepted this for so many years? What was just shown to us is not acceptable in my mind. That isn't someone being honest with me. It's not even close. And that's not even close to mathematically possible in real life. To have the exact name for so many major key points for such a major building, right in the beginning of the story. Could you imagine building a building now and you read the narrative in 300 years and it says, my lunch break sold the building to King Lunch Break, then breaks his leg, and the king sends him lunch, and the building is filled with millions of pounds of marble. and from thousands of miles away. Brought to you by horses and wagons. But forget to tell you how many horses are men, of course. It's absolute nonsense. Now, as promised from earlier, and I'm gonna butcher this name, but here we go. I'm gonna get back to this Nicola Egdefid guy, the Danish architect, who supposedly designed Frederick's church, and of course, died 5 years after the project began. As we have seen so many times in other narratives, the narrator is using this guy to explain away 4 other old world buildings. So he had these horses on marble trips all over the world for just this Frederick's church. And I thought that was all he was up to in the 1700s. So here we are just going to prove how ridiculous this narrative really is. During the exact same time period, in the 1700s, when they were supposed to have no roads, no cars, no trains, no planes, no light bulbs, and living in wooden sheds, freezing in the winters and suffering, we have this genius that I'm guessing none of us have ever heard about. They pin this guy as the architect of the following: the Amalienborg Palace, Malka's Mansion, Lederborg Palace, and Christianborg Palace. The amount of materials would be just insane. And which stone carving mastermind was in charge of making these pillars in the inside? All during the exact same time period in the 1700s. How much closer to just saying that they're lying could this get? Oh, just so we all know it's from the past civilization. If you've seen my first 42 episodes, you'll enjoy this one a lot. Let's close the book on this nonsense in Denmark once and for all. As a community, we know too much now. We are given a bunch of nonsense in this fake story. And then we get to the main point and the nod to the hidden group that this is in fact from the old world. The palace today bears witness to 3 eras of Danish architecture, so they say, as a result of 2 serious fires. Unbelievable. It's all over the world. The first fire occurred in 1794. And the second fire in 1884. Let's be clear, this is a nod in my opinion. This is not an actual event that took place. This is simply added to the narratives to show which building is from the past civilization, and the fire story gives it all away. All over the world, each and every time. It's just incredible. As for the fires that happen today, and ones that you can actually see with our eyes, they are destroying these buildings right in front of our faces. No need to place blame on anyone. And then they go ahead and collect the insurance check, such as the Windsor Castle. On November 20th, 1992, you get another fire in an old world building, this time destroying 115 rooms. And how does this fire start? Remember the old story of the faulty electrical switch is always a good one. This time it is a faulty spotlight that lit the curtain on fire. What a joke. This isn't working anymore, at all. Just completely destroying the past civilization's work. Now I want to add one more thing. I have a short bonus. These pictures were sent over to me by our friend Steve, and they are all from the city of Budapest, located in Hungary, which to this point in my research, and in my opinion, is the most incredible city in the world, as far as these old world buildings go. I think it is important to stop and look at these structures once in a while. After everything that we have seen, and everything that we have learned, and everything that we know about the fake stories, the fake narratives and the fake characters. And just appreciate what is still here of the past civilization that we can still see with our eyes. Incredible stonework. Entire cities that simply don't belong in our ridiculous timeline. Repurposed buildings. Explanations and dates that don't make any logical sense. It's incredible stuff. In our next episode, episode 44, and possibly episode 45, I will be going on a trip to see over 15 buildings that, in my opinion, based on facts, are built from the past civilization.
Illinois State Archives, how may I help you?
All sponsored by our Patreon and badge members, our merch sales and super chats, every subscriber, and all of your comments and likes on the video. Every dollar goes back into this channel and sharing the truth. And I can't wait to share what we find with you all. I will be back very soon with much more. I hope you all have a great day. See ya.